So this is a requested video by students on reviewing how to graph and finding your key points. So your key points that we're going to be focusing on finding for a quadratic function are how to find the x-intercepts, the y-intercept, and the vertex. So I'm going to be using the function on the left side, y equals 2x squared minus 3x minus 7, as an example problem. So I'm going to start off by finding the x-intercepts. Remember that in order to find the x-intercepts, the easiest way for you to do it is going to be the quadratic formula. Now you'll always have the quadratic formula. I'm going to rewrite it here. X equals opposite of b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, so now you've got it on the screen twice. Okay, I can't stress how much you're going to need to know how to use this formula. So I'm going to replace these letters in here. I'll do this a little differently in this video. So first thing we've got is opposite of b. Since my b is negative 3, I'm going to put in a positive 3. Alright, for this b, I'm going to be putting in a negative 3. For a, I'm going to put in 2. And then c is negative 7. Okay, so there's my a's, b's, and c's on top. And then finally, I'm going to put 2 in for a. Now comes the calculating. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and calculate the whole part of the square root over here. So I'm going to, in my calculator, put second square root, parentheses, negative 3, close parentheses, squared, minus 4, parentheses 2, close parentheses, parentheses, negative 7, close parentheses, and I get 8.06. So I put this whole thing, including the square root sign, into my calculator. So now I have x equals 3 plus or minus 8.1 all over 4. So instead of just doing what's under the square root, I did everything including the square root. Once I'm here, I'm going to split this up into two equations. And we'll do it this way so that we can get away from that docery. So I'm going to have x equals 3 plus 8.1 divided by 4. And I'm going to have x equals 3 minus 8.1 divided by 4. So I'm going to calculate. So 3 plus 8.1 gives me 11.1 divided by 4. I get 2.8. And then 3 minus 8.1 divided by 4 gives me negative 1.3. So my two x-intercepts are 2.8 comma 0. Remember, they have to be written as points. And negative 1.3 comma 0. Okay. Let me write those down on a piece of paper because I'm going to need them again. Alright, now let's move on to the next one, our y-intercept. The y-intercept is very easy. You just have to remember that it is 0 comma c. So for this one, our y-intercept is 0 comma c, which is negative 7. Okay, so 0 comma negative 7 is my y-intercept. And now for my vertex, I've got to first find the x of my vertex by doing the opposite of b over 2a. Then I take that x value and plug it back into my function. So I'm going to do my work over here on the right side. So start off by finding the x, opposite of b over 2a. So opposite of b is positive 3 over 2 times 2. That gives me 3 over 4, which I can leave as a fraction. I'm going to in this case. Okay, so then I'm going to, well, we've used decimals already, so let's just change it to a decimal. It doesn't matter at the moment. 0.75. Now I'm going to plug that in to get my y value. So remember, to get the y value of the vertex, you plug in. So I'm going to have 2 parentheses squared minus 3 parentheses minus 7. So I'm going to plug in that 0.75. So 0.75, 0.75, and we'll put it in the calculator. 2 times 0.75 squared minus 3 times 0.75 minus 7. Now I just put it in my calculator exactly how it's written there. Enter, and I get negative 8.1 as my vertex. So now I've got all the points that I need. Let me write that down. 0.75, negative 8.1. Alright, now it's time to graph. So I know that my two x-intercepts are 2.8, 0 and negative 1.3, 0. My y-intercept was 0, negative 7. And my vertex is 0.75, negative 8.1. So I'm going to graph this. I guess my units can be 1 all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so you'll see what I'm doing. I'm just kind of giving me some tick marks so that I can count. I'm not even putting my numbers on there. So my first x-intercept is going to be at 2.80. So that's going to be right about here. So I'm going to make a little purple dot there. Then at negative 1.30, that's going to be about right there. My y-intercept is at 0, negative 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Be right there. And my vertex is at 0.75, 8.1. So that's about right here. So my function is going to look like this. Or that's not the best drawing I've ever done. Let me try that again. It's going to look something like that. So that's how you find your points and you graph them. So hopefully this helps.